Yeah. Let's face it, what's the first thing you see when you get to an airport but a big sign saying terminal? I was coming in on a plane last week, and I was sitting on my newspaper, like, you know how you do, and a guy crossed the aisle. He looks across, he said, "Are you reading that?" Like, I've heard of eyes in the back of your head, but this is... So I said, yes. I stood up and turned the page and sat back down. But I was in New York. I was reading it. Not everything that's going on in New York is bad news. I was reading about a bum in the Bowery in New York, and he reached down into the gutter and he pulled out a bottle and he rubbed it, and the genie came up. And the genie said, "I'm going to give you 3 wishes, but he said, for everything you wish for, every lawyer in the world gets double, see?" So he said, "What would be your first wish?" Well, he said, "Genie, I've always wanted a big black Cadillac." So he gave him a Cadillac. He said, "Now remember, every lawyer gets 2 Cadillacs." He said, "What would be your second wish?" Well, he said, "Genie, I've always wanted $1 million. What I could do with $1 million. So he gave him $1 million. He said, "Now remember, every lawyer gets $2 million. He said, "This is your last wish. I want you to think about it, meditate, concentrate, because every lawyer gets double." Well, he said, "Genie, I've always wanted to donate a kidney." That was going to last, David. But, where's Mary Nicholas before I go? Where's Mary Nicholas? Mary, it's funny, Mary and I go to the same doctor. I was so surprised to see you in the doctor's office. I couldn't believe that you and I go to the same doctor. And it's like in the doctor's office, you would never intentionally overhear anything, would you? I mean, you wouldn't put your ear to a wall to hear something confidential, and if you did, you wouldn't take it out on the main drag. Well, I'll tell you what happened to Mary. She was just coming out of the doctor's office, and the doctor said, "Oh, Mary," and she turned around on a dime as though there was something wrong. She said, "What is it, doctor?" Well, he said, "Now that I think of it, maybe I shouldn't say." "Oh, no," she said, "Doctor, tell all. I have absolute respect for all your judgments." Well, he said, "Mary, I've been meaning to tell you, I really don't like the looks of your husband, Carl." She said, "I don't either, but he's good to the kids." But this doctor we go to, he thinks everything can be solved by needles, doesn't he? Needles for this, needles for that, needles for the other thing, and you know which office it is because there's a big lineup and they're all backing in. No kidding, last week he gave me another needle. He overdosed me on penicillin. I sneezed and cured 10 people. He gave me a bottle of pills. He said, "You have to take a pill every day for the rest of your life." I said, "No." He said, "Yes." So I went home to my wife, Hester Sue, and I cried on her shoulder. She said, "Come on, Clem, grow up. Lots of people have to take a pill every day for the rest of their lives." I said, "Yeah, but he only gave me 4. But I was reading in the university hospital here that they've been doing them heart transport operations. You've been reading about that, David? But they've been using turtles' hearts. Isn't that revolutionary? I mean, imagine the availability of that turtle's heart. Very successful operation. No kidding. A week later, the guy walked out of the hospital. 6 weeks later, he got to his car. The doctor goes in to see Mr. Smith. He said, "Mr. Smith, I got some good news and I got some bad news." Well, he said, "Tell me the news." He said, "Well, Mr. Smith, you need a new brain." But he said, "We got a couple of brains that have been donated for transport operations and research." He said, "The only problem is a very, very expensive operation." Well, he said, "Doctor, tell me about it." Well, he said, "The man's brain is $100,000 and the woman's brain is $30,000. He said, "Would you run that by me again?" He said, "Yeah, the man's brain is $100,000 and the woman's brain is $30,000. Well, he said, "Doctor, can I ask you a little question?" He said, "Fire away." He said, "Why is the woman's brain so inexpensive?" "Oh," the doctor said, "because it's been used." That women don't seem to look as busy as men? That's because they do it right the first time. My friend Harry, last week, I was down in Toronto. He's being released from the psychiatric hospital down there. David, did you know that to get out of a place like that, you have to answer a couple of questions? I thought you would know. Anyway, the doctor said to my friend Harry, I'm going to ask you just 2 questions. If you get them right, you can pack your bags and go home. So he said, Harry, if I was to cut one of your eyes out, what would that be to you? Well, he said, Doctor, I would be partially blind. He said, that's right, Harry, you're halfway home. He said, if I was to cut the other eye out, what would that be to you? Well, he said, I would be totally blind. He said, that's right, Harry, pack your bags and go home. So as Harry was going down the hallway, Joe, his best friend, was waiting to go to see the doctor. He said, Joe, I got the answers to the 2 questions. He said, you give the doctor the same 2 answers. He said, you're out of here, just like me. So he said, Joe goes in, and the doctor said, Joe, if I was to cut one of your ears off, what would that be to you? Well, he said, I would be partially blind. He said, okay, if I was to cut the other ear off, what would that be? Well, he said, I would be totally blind. Well, the doctor said, Joe, how in the world do you figure that? Well, Joe said, my hat would fall down over my eyes. I was reading about health care in the newspaper here, you know. Being an aide and advisor to the Prime Minister of Canada, I'm interested in health. Did you know that in the province of Ontario, for every $100 million we spend on health care, we spend $2 billion on get well cards? Do you have them health food stores around where you live? Do you ever notice that the people that serve you in them stores look like death warm over? I stay away from all natural foods. Let's face it, 90% of the people die of natural causes. Where's Delmer there? Where is Delmer? Is he here? Is he here? Delmer, where's Delmer?
He didn't make it.
He didn't make it? Well, he... Put your hand up, Delmer. Yeah, he comes over to the farm. I know who he is. Yeah, he told me he don't eat them organic foods. Isn't that right? No organic foods for Delmer. I said, Delmer, I thought they were supposed to be good for you. He said, Clem, at my age, I need all the preservatives I can get. I said, what's your secret of longevity? He said, don't die. Well, there's one way to keep people healthy today, and that's to tell them the price of a funeral. Oh, come on, you can laugh. You ever notice how the cost of going down is going up? Well, you remember Uncle Harry Sherry? Bless his soul, we buried him 10 years ago. So far, his funeral has cost us $40. Imagine $40,000. We buried him in a rented tuxedo. But he was such a clean nut. He had 4 baths a day and 8 showers. So out of respect for his cleanliness, the whole funeral procession went through the car wash. But I don't make fun of death. But I said to my wife, Esther Sue, I said, if it ever gets to the place where I got plastic hips, plastic elbows, plastic knees, plastic ankles, I said, don't worry about a casket, just throw me in the blue box. I noticed you've been eating. Have you ever noticed that a birthday cake is the only food that you can think of that you can blow on and spit on and everybody rushes to get it? Mother used to put tongue sandwiches in my lunch. Sherry, did you get tongue sandwiches? I used to just hate them, honey. Just the smell of them. Oh, anything that comes out of an animal's mouth. My favorite is egg sandwiches. But you know, we're talking about age and stuff, you know you're getting old when somebody admires your alligator shoes and you're going barefoot. But, where's Roger Bender before I go out? Where's Roger? Roger comes over to the farm for counseling, don't you, son? It's all in confidence. Is that Roseanne there? Yeah, well, he's telling me it's all in confidence. He was telling me that Roseanne puts them mud packs on for beauty treatment. Isn't that what you were saying, Roger? I said, does it improve her appearance? He said, yeah, for a few days and then the mud falls off. But actually, I go to Bill Wettlaufer for counseling because, where's Bill? He's living in what's happening, not in what's happened. And I said to him, Billy, they tell me that blondes and brunettes have better dispositions than redheads. Is that true? He said, Clem, don't believe a word of it. My wife has been all 3 nights, seen the difference. But, you know, before I go, I just wanted to tell you about my wife, Hester Sue. I just love her to bits. Beautiful, beautiful. You'd never call her. But she gave me her picture last week. Wasn't that sweet, Sherry? Wasn't that sweet, David? Wasn't that sweet? I don't know. It must have been taken with one of them there high-speed cameras. Her mouth was closed. But you know, they say in a marriage you should divulge all your secrets. Do you think that's right, David?
Oh, no.
I agree with you. That's a lot of bull. I would never tell Hester Sue all that I think. You know, she thinks she can sing. She thinks she can sing like Anne Murray and Celine Dion and all them. Do you know what I think about her singing? A frog makes the same noise and you can eat its legs. But she can make do. I have never seen a woman make do like Hester Sue. She lost a tea strainer, she's using the fly swatter. Cook, nobody can cook like Hester Sue. She uses a smoke detector as a timer. How many of you men get 2 choices for dinner, see? None of you. I get 2 choices for dinner every night. Take it or leave it. I came home the other day and she was in real tears. I said, what's the matter? She said, the dog ate one of my chicken pot pies. I said, don't worry, Hester, I'll buy you a new dog. No kidding, her meatloaf was on Fear Factor. But she gets on these salmon kicks, you know, salmon pate, salmon croquet, salmon salad, salmon steak. Twice a year I get the urge to go north and spawn. But she's putting on the pounds lately, and I don't make fun of her. I almost have to have double vision to take her all in. She's just... But the doctor said, Hester, you have to exercise, exercise, exercise. She says, I can't. He said, don't give me that baloney. What do you mean you can't exercise? She says, every time I exercise, I burn fat. I smell like bacon and I get hungry. But she comes by it honestly. Her mother is what you would call that full figure. Do you understand what I'm saying? And in fact, her mother moved in about 8 months ago. We never had a sunken living room until she moved in. We got this Persian rug. She sat on the cat. But no, Hester doesn't do anything. She's like Gloria. She doesn't do any housework. You know what I'm saying? You know what she does when company comes? She throws drop cloths over everything and tells people we're painting. But she calls me cutie. Isn't that the sweetest thing? I get so excited, you know. I get chills up and down my spine. You know, tonight when I came out, she said, goodbye, cutie. Yeah, it's short for chronic urinary infection. But, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I don't come here. You know, I'm Country Clem is a celebrity. He travels all over Canada, the United States, and Great Britain. I don't sell my information to these cheap tabloids like the National Enquirer. I come right out in my meetings tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I tell people the truth. I was born in Hamilton, Ontario in 1962. Who said that? Wasn't I born in 1962, Sherry? Absolutely. Without a word of a lie, I was born in Hamilton, Ontario in 1962. Yeah, the room next to me was 1963. But my mother is 89, bless her heart. She's a travel agent for guilt trips. Last month, the doctor told her she had to walk 5 miles a day. Now we don't know where she is. She's got this gray hair that's really thin, you know, and she teases it really high. In fact, it's so thin I can see the light on her scalp. She looks like a dandelion gone to seed. In fact, every time I hug her, I have the greatest urge to go poof. But she's losing her memory, and it's upsetting Sherry and my son and the rest of the family. Don't make no mind to me. I mean, this year I got 8 checks for my birthday. That's $40. I'm a C-section baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, as you look at me, would you notice a difference? But it has had its effects. It has had its effects. I know that's true because every time I leave the house, I go out the window. Are you getting tired? But actually, I had a terrible childhood. I never felt wanted. I never felt wanted. My father used to give me my allowance in traveler's checks. I never had any friends. You know, the teeter-totter, I had to keep running from one end to the other. We had fire drill in our house, fire drill. My father grabbed the pets, my mother grabbed the jewelry, my sister ran for help, and I was in charge of the fridge and stove. They made me visit my grandparents for a week every summer. I hate cemeteries. I had to share the sandbox with a cat. But no, ladies and gentlemen, I sometimes have so many problems, I just feel like I'd like to drown my troubles. I wouldn't do it, but I feel like it, you know. But I can't get my wife to go swimming. No, I'm just kidding. I think marriage is great. If it weren't for marriage, us men would go through life thinking we didn't have any faults. In the paper. Where is Ron Whipper? Where is he? Is he here? Would you stand up, Ronnie? Ronnie, it says in the paper here that Ron has been named Man of the Year. Give him a hand. Man of the Year. Gives you a good idea what kind of year it's been, don't it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, would you like to hear me sing a little song?
Oh, yeah.
Most people say no. Anyway, I'd like to give you this little song. It's good for an organization like this, and I got it from the Grand Ole Opry. I don't know whether anybody have ever know this song. Make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Yes, make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Make friends with the rich, make friends with the poor. Make friends with the high, make friends with the low. Even a little child, you ought to greet him with a smile. Well, traveling through this world, try to make friends. Make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. Well, traveling through this world, try to make friends. Make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. Well, traveling through this world, try to make friends. Make friends in the church, make friends in your home, make friends on the telephone, and then don't be listening on. Make friends on the radio, on the street and everywhere you go. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Yes, make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Sometimes you may be weak, sometimes you may be strong. Sometimes talk about and sometimes treated wrong. But in the Father's name, you gotta try to do this thing. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Sing it with me now. Make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Yes, make friends, make friends, make friends, try to make friends. While traveling through this world, try to make friends. Give yourselves a big hand. I have one more song I'd like to do for you, ladies and gentlemen. And this is about my wife, Esther Sue. chair by the wall. There I stood, broken hearted, with half of my wife I had parted. So I slept on the chair. There was more of her there, side by side. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You have been such a good audience. You know, Country Clem didn't mean any harm. He wouldn't intentionally offend anybody. You know, it says a lot of good things when people can take a little joke and laugh at themselves. Some people can't do that. But you have been such good sports tonight. Would you give yourselves a big hand for being such good sports? Oh, where's Ruth and Steve Cahill? Where are they? Are they here tonight? Would you stand up, Ruth and Steve? I've known them for years. Stand up. Sit down.